Hey everyone, my name is Saul and thank you for joining me for another Chrono Consort devlog. This devlog is going to be focused on starting the brand new milestone, which happens to be called Recruiting and Management because this is a management game and there's currently no management elements. And as I have plans to do an early access playtest soon, I feel like there should be some management aspects in the game for you all to play around with. So let's start off with what I did near the end of last week because that's when this devlog starts. So I started rather late last week because the weather's been actually quite nice, so I've been trying to spend some time away from my screen and outside actually in the real world, and it's been rather nice. But I wanted to do some game dev, so I got onto work about Thursday of the first week of the devlog period. So I started off with leveling, and the first thing I wanted to do was making sure that leveling actually works as it should, as I had noticed some issues. And after some testing, I was noticing that it was working fine, but some of the XP wasn't getting set correctly. The other thing I wanted to add is a management aspect into leveling. So every guildie has like a rank, you could call it. Every 5 levels is one rank. However, when they get to the 5th level and they've maxed out the XP bar, you have to choose to upgrade them and you have to pay to do so. Not doing so is fine, but they won't be able to level up anymore and increase their stats. But doing so means you pay some money, they can go to the next rank and they can increase their stats to the higher levels. And this will also play into their wages, which will be added later on in the devlog. As the higher the rank they are, the different wages they'll take. The other thing I wanted to add was changing the dialogue system up a little bit because the dialogue system is kind of boring right now and they're just saying random things, so they now pull from the leveling into the dialogue. So if they level up, they might say to you, "Ooh, I just leveled up." If they got some XP, they'll be like, "Nice, I'm level whatever." And if you need to upgrade them past the level, they'll tell you, "Oh, I can't level up anymore." So I think it's quite a nice way to get dialogue in terms of gameplay and tell the player like what to do, and I think it works quite well. And that was really it for leveling. It did not take much time at all, so I was quite happy with that. So in the weekend of the first devlog period, I wanted to get in the day-night cycle, so I followed a tutorial, which I'll link down below because it was fantastic, about how to set up a Stardew Valley Light day-night cycle, which was one of the big influences of this game. And following that tutorial, I was also able to set up time-based events, which I use for the guildies and I could use for other things as well. One of the new things that happens is every hour the guildies AI mode may change. This time-based system will call them and they'll say, "Oh, I need to check my AI mode," and if it changes, it changes. If it doesn't, they'll carry on doing. But it means there's a little bit more variety in what the guildies do now, which is really nice to see when I'm playing. This is a really good starting point for what I was going to do for the dev stream tomorrow, which is setting up a basic wage system for the guildies so that you have to pay them now, because you know, they don't work for free, they're not slaves, despite what some people on the Discord might say. In the dev stream, the thing I worked on was getting the basic wages set up for guildies, as I set out to do. And now that the day-night cycle is implemented, this is really quite easy to do. All that happens is it's another time-based event. Each guildie has a basic wage to start off with, and at the end of each day, the wages get taken out of your rewards at the top right. And it's quite simple like that really. I made some changes to how the wages work, so basically the wages are based off their level boundary. So if they're level like 10, they'll get paid a little bit more than they would if they're level 1. The other thing that will change is if their rarity is higher, their wages are higher. So rarity times their initial wage, and I think the initial wage is about 25 for now. I mean, these are all magic numbers, I need to balance them out later on. So if they're rarity 10, their initial wages will be 250. So it's kind of like a trade-off. You want the higher rarity guildies, because there will be benefits for that in the future, I promise you, but you will have to pay them more. So it's kind of fun like that, and I think it means you have to think a bit more. This does mean there's a risk of your like reward amount going down quite quickly, but you just need to manage that. It's all about the balancing of things, which is something I will work on behind the scenes and something you'll need to work on when you play the game. And that's what I got done in the dev stream. I also fixed some bugs about like some little rarity issues that were happening, but other than that, we were sorted. I don't have much time left for the devlog now, as I need to edit the video and get it ready for you all for this Saturday. So my next goal is to finish the wage tasks, and for that I need a UI for the day cycle, and I want the guildies to have some dialogue based on their wage levels, telling you if they're happy with the wages or not happy with it, which could lead to in the future you being able to increase their wages, but that's not going to be a thing just yet. I also want to create an icon for the money just because I don't like it just saying rewards. I prefer to move away from text where I can because symbols tend to be more accessible to people, as they see a money symbol and they understand money, and not having it based on just a certain colour is also a handy way to handle accessibility for people who may be colourblind. So I'm going to get to work on all this UI design and we'll see what we get up to. So it was nearing the end of the devlog period, and there are a few tasks left I wanted to have finished for this video. The first was the new artwork for the UI and for the money symbols like I mentioned. So I first set out creating a day-night cycle UI, and I'm using Unity's 9-slice system as well to make the UI a bit easier for me to create, and this is what we have so far, and in-game it looks pretty nice. I then created a new money logo, because I really hate the icons I use for it now. Like the orange, red and green are obviously the best ways to show lower tier to higher tier, but as I mentioned, I want a way to have symbols as well so people know without having to rely on a colour. So after thinking about it, I changed the design to like a coin with a star in it. The lower tier will still be red, but there won't be any sparkles around the star. As the money gets higher tier, there are sparkles around the star, which means on the higher rewarding quests, there'll be a green coin with a yellow star with yellow sparkles around it. The mid quests will have an orange coin with a few sparkles around it, and then the lower tier quests will be a red coin with no sparkles at all. Once they were created, whilst I was working on the art, I decided to create a new icon for the transport quests because I really hated the chest. And after talking with some people in the Discord, this is what we ended up with, a little crate and it's on a cart, which I think looks pretty cute. What do you all think? And in game, they all work really well. I'm really happy with how the new money icons look, and I'm using it in the top right now as well. You should be able to see to show currency rather than saying rewards and then the amount. I just think it adds a little bit more, and I'm going to be using this throughout the game to show money rather than saying the words money, such as when you upgrade a guildie past their level bounds, it will have the symbol and an amount next to it, so hopefully you can realise, oh, I need to pay this much to upgrade, because that is the main. Well, not loads to show, honestly. I've been on a few more dog walks, of course, and a few bike rides, but other than that, for the streams, there's something actually interesting. I had a new streaming day. On Tuesdays, I'll be streaming The Sims, because it's fun and I want to stream The Sims every week if I can. Sundays will therefore remain the chill game stream, usually playing Stardew Valley, and I'll be playing that tomorrow, so you should probably come and join if you can. We have a lovely chill time together. And honestly, not much else has gone on in my personal life. Uni work is starting to ramp up now because we're so close to being finished with it for this year, which means it's time for the inevitable, oh gosh, I forgot about deadlines, let's finish all my work quickly and get it to a good tier. So that's where I'm currently at with uni work right now. But we're nearly done, and that means there'll be more time for game development, which is always a big plus. And so the devlog period has come to an end. I've had a lot of fun these past 2 weeks working on adding some basic management into the game, because obviously it is a management game in the end. So having some of that actually in makes the game feel a lot more alive, and it's actually so fun to see. This milestone is going a lot smoother than the questing one, as I've only got like 2 more big tasks left to do, and it's like the next installment of the gameplay loop, so I'm really looking forward to getting that in. I just didn't have enough time to implement it these weeks, or I would have done. I hope you all really enjoyed the devlog. Thank you so much for your support on the last one. It's been fantastic, and I'm really excited to see where this goes. I think I've finally found my new devlog style, so I'm really happy with that. If you agree with that, make sure you like and comment, and maybe subscribe if you haven't already. I really do appreciate it. So yeah, thanks again for all of your support. It really means a lot to me. And that's basically it. I hope you all are staying safe, doing well, and I hope to see you in the next devlog, and hopefully the stream tomorrow. So thank you all, and goodbye.